Hello, I'm Sonia,
And I'm Tanya.
and this is
Cooking with Commods.
Cooking with Commods. Cooking with Commods.
So today we have one of my favorites, bison chili. I love cooking with bison because it's so much leaner. It's one of the leanest meats. I think the only one leaner is deer. So bison chili.
Yeah, and if you're someone like me that has to watch certain things in your diet because of health conditions, this is the kind of thing that really does help out. I mean, and besides, it tastes great. It's something you can actually fix that you want to fix because it tastes good.
It feels guilty. It really does. It feels guilty, but this is one of the healthiest things that you can make, what we're making today, bison chili. So we will start out with 1 pound of ground bison.
Now, we like to cook it beforehand because it kind of speeds up the whole process. And plus that way you know it's done. Okay?
One other idea, you can actually throw everything in the crock pot and just let it cook for about 4 hours, and you don't have to pre-cook the bison. But like Tanya said, we like to cook it up ahead of time. It's ready a whole lot sooner.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that's
Next
the bison.
is 1 medium onion chopped, and I can smell it from here. One little trick I learned a long time ago, when you're cutting these onions and you get it all over your hand, if you put just plain old table salt on your hands when you're washing them off, it'll help get that onion smell off of your fingers. Okay?
Another tip. If you're the one stuck chopping the onions, just light a candle, keep it beside you, and while you're cutting the onions, it burns the fumes off so your eyes don't water nearly so bad.
Okay. Next is 1 can of pinto beans, 15.5 ounces, give or take. Rinse them and drain them. Okay.
Now, I know pinto beans are pretty good for you, but to be honest, I can't stand beans.
She picks them out of the food.
I do. I end up with a little mound of beans. But one thing you can do, you can substitute black beans. Black beans are so
I
healthy.
love them.
And that's about the only bean I can stand is black beans.
Okay. Next is 2 cans of tomatoes, undrained, 15.5 ounces.
If you want to cheat a little bit, get the pre-seasoned ones. They have all kinds, all bunches
Yes.
along the shelf. There's Italian, there's Mexican, there's even one that's, well, not to mention a brand name, but there's even one that's already got the jalapenos in it, the onions. You can just mix it up. It doesn't affect the taste except just to maybe make it just a little bit spicier if you like it that way.
Next is half a cup of water. Okay.
Okay, I'll be stirring that.
Okay. 2 teaspoons of chili powder. We just put all the dry ingredients into one bowl, but you can do this however you like. Half a teaspoon of ground cumin, half a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of ground pepper, and those are the smaller dry ingredients. I'll try and get them all over the thing there to kind of help mix it up a little bit. And 1/2 cup of fresh cilantro. Oh, smell that.
This makes the chili.
Okay.
And again, if you're in a pinch, dried is okay. It's just that if you use fresh, it just really does have a stronger taste.
I don't want to waste any of this. Pardon my hands. Okay. Got that?
All right. Give that a really good stir.
Now what we want to do is cover and simmer. Now the directions here say for 1 hour, but we're assuming that you're just throwing the bison in there. But at this point, since we pre-cooked it at home, once she gets all this stuff in there, she just kind of puts it on the stove and simmers it for
20 to 30 minutes. Okay.
Cover it, let it simmer.
We have been letting it simmer for a good 30 minutes. And
The smell is driving me crazy.
another tip, always pick the lid up facing away from you.
Oh, that
Just
smells
give
so
it a good
good.
stir.
I really do wish we had smell-o-vision.
Okay.
Oh, let's dish some up. Oh, and I should mention that I added the cilantro beforehand earlier. Yeah, maybe a little bit more. But the directions actually do say to add it afterwards, so and simmer a little longer. It's up to you. It's however you want to dish it up. Okay, and now we're going to doctor it up a little, my favorite part. I was teasing earlier. I said that cheese is just about enough for me. Peppers?
Do you want any on there?
Not me. Lots and lots of cheese.
You can't forget the cheese. To me, it's not chili unless there's cheese.
Yep. And if you get Commod cheese, the gold bricks are the best cheese. And we even have the cornbread that we made earlier. Should I take a piece?
Go
Just use my
ahead.
hands? Okay. I'll break up a little bit in there.
Sour cream. That's one thing we don't
yes.
have here, and that's one thing I have to have on my chili. Sour cream. And to make it healthy, you can get either the light or the fat-free. And to me, there's really not that much of a taste difference. So,
I haven't seen it.
And again, this is some really healthy food right here. I mean, the cornbread is just about fat-free.
Yep.
The chili, I think there's just barely any fat in the ground bison.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's wonderful.
And the beans are really, really good for you. Everything in moderation, though. That's always the key. Everything in moderation. You get the good benefits as long as you keep it that way.
Well, I think that's everything. We want to give you the ingredients one more time. You start with 1 pound of ground bison, and we told you we went ahead and browned it earlier just to make things quicker.
But if you're going to do the crock pot method, then you can just dump it in there, and it'll be done by the time you get home. 1 medium onion chopped.
1 can of pinto beans, rinsed and drained. That's about 15.5 ounces.
2 cans of tomatoes undrained, and those are also about 15.5 ounces.
1/2 cup of water.
2 teaspoons of chili powder.
1/2 teaspoon of ground cumin.
1/2 teaspoon of salt.
1/2 teaspoon ground pepper.
1/2 cup of fresh cilantro chopped. Again, you can add that however you want to do that.
Cover and simmer for an hour, adding more water if the chili seems to be a little too thick.
Spoon it into the bowls. Garnish with the cheese, the jalapenos, sour cream. Pretty much however you like it.
And I think that's everything. So, this has been Cooking with Commods.
Cooking